Oh dear. How are we all doing? I do hope you're all keeping well out there. Camera seems to be a little off to one side tonight, but we'll not worry about that. Who have we got? We have a few. It's easy enough, thank you. Says we're live. Well, we should be. We should be live. Do I want to upgrade to Windows 11? No. I do want to use Windows 11. Hello, Brian Urman. Yes, we have a few here tonight, thank God. We are hooked up. Don't mind me, just doing a few bits here. Somebody nearby is letting off quite an amount of fireworks. Right, now, I do apologise for that. Let's see who we've got. We have in the chat, live chat, very important. Participants are _AudioAl, Brian Allman, Driver, Film and Shortwave, who we met at the Goblin this time last year, R52, Jerry BVR, Jim Simpson, Ray Bourne, Richard 100, Rob's radio channel, The Chipmunk, Tommy Hanlon, White Sapphire. Wonderful. Now, hopefully the live chat will load up for me quick enough. And we'll get into this. Let me start at the top of the live. White Sapphire says, evening, nudgers. Don't forget the thumbs up button, absolutely. Is that a picture board? Is that picture a board from the Bush line stage A820, A823? It is indeed. That's exactly what it is. I took that picture quite a few years ago. And I stuck it up there. It turned out really well. We have Far64, who's on the McGowns. Rob's radio channel. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's keeping well. Odge Nodge, did you get my email on what I was picking up on Dab Radio? I did, Rob, and I did mean to respond to you, but I forgot, as is often the case with emails. And I did. Rob has successfully managed to, no bother at all, with what appears to be just a whip aerial on the radio, pick up Dab from the UK, whether it's from Northern Ireland or across the Irish Sea, I'm not sure. Audio Al is here. Evening, Audio Al. Ray Bourne is here, of course. I said that. Jerry BVR is here. Good evening, sir. Warmer UK. Jim Simpson's here. I think we said that. Damn this bloody server. White Sapphire is having issues at her end tonight. Rather you than me. I had enough issues last week with the live stream. As you will remember, I had to restart 3 times. We nearly pulled the plug last week, but Doesn't seem to be any issues tonight. So we'll tiddle along for now. Can you do the free upgrade anymore to Windows 11? This laptop apparently I can. Maybe I'll try. I don't know what Windows 11 is about. Blah blah blah. Good evening, JJ, says Tommy Hannell. Good evening, sir. Still Windows 10 on white sapphires, though she's only using her phone lately. Windows 8 drove me to Linux and I never looked back, says Jerry. Never had anything to do with Linux. I'm not a big computer buff, by the way. Just you know. Rob's radio channel says fireworks around his place also. Oh, that's maybe there's something going on tonight in Ireland that we're not aware of. Jerry PVR has been using Ubuntu. George Donaldson's here. Good evening, George. I hope you're keeping well too, sir. Rob's radio channel says that Picky's picking up loads from the UK. Well, there's a bit of an old sunspot or something going on at the minute too. I believe 11 meters has been flying. George will probably know about that. CB band has been steaming away the last couple of days, I believe. It's all red. I didn't listen. I didn't have time. Rayborn says, just after been looking at a vid before the cast saying you can't do the free upgrade to 11 anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'll try after the live stream with the laptop. I only got this laptop recently. And a friend of a friend refurbished it for me. He got a Sans hard drive, so he put a new hard drive in it and 16 gig of RAM and all this nonsense. And it's a very smooth laptop indeed. Very nice. It's only 2 or 3 years old. Odge is Rob is listening to Gold UK on Dab at the minute. Very good. Yeah, 16 gig. Yeah. The old supercomputer in the corner is running 16 gig as well. And I got a solid state hard drive for it, which I lost. But recently being very recently, because today, found it. So I'm going to put that in there and see how she runs with that. The mock needs to bugger off. Yeah, it's a little fly or something buzzing around. You can obviously see it. Joe King's here as well. Good evening, Joe, sir. Let me keep an eye on this. Air52 says, I'm keeping Windows 10 on my laptop. It works fine. See no reason to change it. We'll probably buy a new machine in a few years, so that will have the Windows 11 by default, most likely. I had a problem setting up their Purity on my Sony. Some of you have obviously noticed the little Sony 1320 steaming away here. Is he working okay tonight? It does need a bit of fettling. It's not right. It's had the main switch is welded on it, and so the main switch must have been open circuit because someone's bypassed it. So it's on all the time unless you plug it out, which isn't ideal. But it's not the easiest thing to work on. And to be honest, it's never going to be a daily runner. So I'm more just happy to have one that works. It certainly isn't antique because it's 50 years old. I think it's 1973. It's amazing that it works at all. It's amazing that it's one that has a half decent tube in it because most of them are well knackered. Rob's radio channel, I have been listening to Gold today as well, but from Manchester, their last AM output, and it's been coming in really strong lately. Really good. Now light switch on the side of the cabinet, yeah. Audio Wild got a nice little medium wave transmitter from AliExpress, the AMT 207. Only walks a few feet, great for testing vintage radios. You want something with a bit more pout than that? Remember, we need to take back the medium wave band. Indeed. Oh, George, what frequency can you remember on FM was Manx Radio? The one that I got picked up was 103.7. And that's not their strongest transmitter either. That's a 4 kilowatt one. They have a 10 kilowatt one in Ramsey, and I think that's 89.7 or something like that. I'd have to look up their website. But yeah, try 103.7. I'd say there's a strong chance you'll pick it up where you are, because you're up nice and high. How's the baby doing? The baby's doing great. He's flying, growing like a weed. Growing too quick. Yeah, indeed. Just try have a quick. 89 Snaffle, yeah. I'm gonna say I had it all arseways all together. 89.5 from Ramsey, 97.2 from Douglas, 103.7 from Derby. Yeah, and now they're messing around with Dab. Deacon says, Dab not usable on Tara Hill, Wexford, even with an external area. Well, there's no Dab in Ireland anymore. Dab was shut down in Ireland last March. Forever. Do report back, Rob, if you have any success. We have 30 watching. We have 31 watching with 16 thumbs up. So you had the door of the shed open earlier, and all these little shits are after flying in. Not good. And Airtel is going. Yeah, we have Teletext still in Ireland, apparently. I don't watch RTA or have a Freeview box set up at the minute. So, and even if I did, I don't think I'd be looking at Teletext anyway. But yeah, they're pulling the plug on our Teletext service in the next couple of weeks. I would be very surprised if anyone used it anymore. Maybe. But yeah, that's going in the bin. Well, Joe King, if he's still here, will tell you was a keen on Dab, but I don't know. Dab's not great. I don't think. Teletext was fun. The old quizzes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if there was any of that on Airtel. Actually, so I'm not sure. Rayborn, RTE should go in the bin. Yeah, most likely. Won't though. It won't. Yeah, so I don't really watch television anymore. I couldn't tell you the last time I turned on the television. No idea. It is in the bin, says Audio Al. Yeah, indeed it is. Oh, Jerry says Airtel has been crap for years with HTML and Twitter links all over. Result, you got the same paragraphs twice and lots of unclickable links. So it doesn't actually work at all. Yeah. Anyway, I won't be I won't be making a video on it because I'm not set up for it. Teletext was never something that really floated my boat, I must say. It was handy to look up the TV listings, but after that, no, never did. FM for the win, indeed. FM is going to be around for a long time yet, I think. Indeed. 32 viewing with 19 thumbs up. So you know what that means. Get the finger out, lads. No sign of the man with the spanner yet, but I'm sure he will be along in the near future. Windows 95 says a lovely CRT you have there, indeed. A little box. FM audio is the best. Fire64 says, are you all right? No beer tonight. If you were up the road, I would pop some over. Indeed. No. Plenty of beer in the house, but I'm not going to bother tonight. Rob's radio channel, Rob says he's going to move his radio around tomorrow to different spots. I suggest Rob gets an outdoor Yagi aerial and points it to the UK. At his high location, I'd say he would get lots of interest in FM reception. What's the story on the green bulb in the top left picture? I don't know what the story is. Let's see what happens. Oh. Yeah, it's nice to have different coloured bulbs around the place. Are the scan coils loose on the Sony TV? No, they are not. It is the camera, not the television, which we can prove by doing that. Yeah, the old camera's corner cutting. Might have been dropped. Al, great radio channels come down on FreeSat too. Yes. Yes, I have used FreeSat for radio reception in the past. Some good stations on there. Just going back through the chat. because sometimes I don't see all the comments, so I like to go scroll back. Bob Anderson is starting on a 1940s projection television. It's the size of a small wardrobe with a 26-inch screen. Sounds interesting. Fresnel lenses and all that nonsense. At the end of the stream, can you turn the CRT off? Because I love the old CRTs turning off. The CRTs, I have used software to block the warm up and the effects when turned off. Oh, yes. Heard from some where if you were going to use Windows XP, the key as 13 zeros, it's free. We see CNBC is the latest to drop standard definition off satellite. Ah, yeah, well, that's finished, so that's the way it's heading. Not that it's a big problem anyway. Just one more bit of crap that you have to add in the chain. How's the old tractor? Ah, the old tractor's okay. Tiddling along. I was out on it the other day. Anyone seen Michael Dranfield? Seems a while since he uploaded a new video. He's just busy. He was here last weekend in the chat for a while, but he's just very busy with stuff. He's not getting much time to play televisions at the minute. He's doing all the boring stuff that makes money. Dennis is in the chat. Hello, Dennis. What's going to happen in the future when HD radio comes out? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I suppose. I suppose you could still use it for radio. Far 64 sees 22 thumbs up. So do I. I see 23. Actually. High definition radio is a strange one, isn't it? Roundy Mounty's here, everyone. Calm down. All is well. Cancel the search parties. Good evening, Roundy, sir. Indeed. What I'm going to do now in a minute is go into the house and get something to drink. I'm getting a bit thirsty here talking and having nothing to lubricate myself with. Roundy Mooney has joined a Discord. Interesting. Chris's Tech TV is here, a famous man from America. Good evening, sir. It's a while since we had you in the live chat. Welcome aboard. Our HD radio sounds like real audio. 32K stream from 2002. Yeah, it's strange how they're telling you how things are supposed to be so great. It's not. What about double wide AM channel? It'd be as good as anything. Real audio, huh? Do you remember when radio sounded good? Remember the sound of Atlantic 252 on long wave? Buzzing in your ear. Jumpers for goalposts. They were the days. How are we doing for thumbs, lads? Inquires Roundy. Oh, not great at the minute, Roundy. No, Mr. Mooney. Not great. But we're getting there. Bring back 252. I'll have to have a whip around for a mast first. Oh, I shouldn't get upset about that. Don't blow up the bloody mast. I have a car radio that has it. You get more highs, the part above 15 kilohertz, but add in all that rough sound from the extreme digital compression. Yeah, don't like the sound of that. And my ears can barely hear 15 kilohertz anymore anyway. Yeah, they say as you get older that you lose the top end response in your ears. I'm looking forward to the day when Mrs. Odgenodge can't hear the 405 line whistle anymore at 10 kilohertz. That's one thing our American friends never had to put up with. They had 525 lines from the start, and you can't hear that either. Well, no more than you can the 625 line whistle. Whereas you get a loud 405 line television, it'll tear the ears clean out of your head. Tommy Hanlon is in the chat. Good evening, Tommy Sore. How are you? Hope you're keeping well out there. Doing well to hear 11K these days. I used to be able to hear 65 line last millennium. I remember the 15K whistle when I was a kid. The Motorola we had was so loud. Yeah, some of them were. We used to get faults in the TV shop, all right, where people were saying squealing TV. And I would always be called because I was younger than anyone else. I could hear it. You probe her down with a pencil till you found the inductor or whatever that was making the noise, and then put a dab of silicone glue on it, and that'd shut it up. They're great days, weren't they? Roundy Mooney says he wants to get his ears syringe for the crack. You can do it yourself. I also found my old CRT TV that's not been turned on since the Irish analog TV shut off, and I turned it on, and before the tube warmed up around the edges, there was a flash of white on the screen. Is that static electricity or a power supply issue? No, it's a sort of a static electricity thing. I think sometimes the degauss coils can cause that. I've seen that before, all right. Audio Al reckons he's doing well to get up in the morning. Indeed, yeah. I remember people writing into him telling him we shouldn't be doing it as well. That is Les Lowry Johns, who, for anyone who doesn't know, on this side of the pond was, I suppose, a hero. We had a trade magazine called Television that was sold in Ireland and the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and a few other places. But Les ran a little TV shop in a place called Gravesend in Kent, southish England. And yeah, he used to write articles every month about all the problems he used to deal with, and lots of them. But he's very funny writer, very funny. Mr. Lorry Johns. Jim Simpson's had a hearing problem since '87. Not like the spell customer. Mike Gardner says you went to Bletchley Park yesterday and visited the Computer Museum, which brought back lots of memories. Bought a 2-valve regen kit from their shop and managed to get 5 live tuned in today. Oh, very good. No, I don't think he had too much of a retirement. I think his last article on television was like 93 or no, 91, I think. And I think he was gone 2 years later. Hard to believe that 2012 since the analog switch off. I remember watching the day they did the countdown before they switched off. Yeah, I watched that too, live, and looked at the screen go blank. Yeah, never been to Bletchley Park. Sounds good. Uh, Motorhead. Let me kill. Let me. Let me kill Mister. Hmm. I remember Miriam. I was gonna say that. Yeah, telling the poor git that he wasn't allowed count with her. Only I'm allowed count. You're a peasant. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know, I suppose you could stick a link up to that roundy just to see how cringy it was. Fucking desperate. Basically, they have this bint here called Miriam O'Callaghan who has 400 kids and she's about 90. And she did the countdown for the end of analog television in Ireland. And herself and one of the engineers from the transmitting end were there. And it was done very poorly, press this button on the keyboard and it'll all go off. So they started counting down and she went 10, 9, and he started counting along with her. And she was like this, no, no, only I may count. You're a smelly poor person. And then she pushed the button and that was the end of television in Ireland. Yeah. I don't think I really ever watched television after that. The death of analog television was also sort of me finished watching television. All this bullshit. Yeah, I tell you what, everyone. I'm good evening, Your Honour. Michael White here as well. Everyone, let's pin that comment for a minute. Right, here's your homework. While I go in to get a drink of water or something for myself, I want everyone to watch that clip. It's about 30 seconds long, and then we'll have a chat, a discussion about the aforementioned clip when I return. And I will be asking questions, so do take notes. Thanks, everyone. Hello everyone, I have returned. Now, let's see where we are with the chat. I did treat myself, by the way, to some non-alcoholic Heineken 00, which is actually quite tasty. I'm back. What the feck, yeah. Loads of little flies in here. This isn't good enough. It's so warm here at the minute. It's unseasonably warm. So it is. We will remove that we will unpin that message now. Thank you, Roundy, by the way. I have to say a special thanks to Roundy because he's super quick. If I say something, put a link up or something, Roundy's always on it, like a fly on shit. So he's deadly for that. 10 out of 10. And I think everyone else would agree. A smelly poor person, indeed. And now another one. Buzz Cagney, yeah. And they see the thief running. I still have chairs over analog switch off for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I think everyone. She could even count 10, 9, 6. She said, I remember a lad called Brian Ray getting a lot of flack on the news groups over the RSGB and the M3 license. That was years ago. Says a lot. I have BBC and I shut down recorder, but never even watched the RTE one. Well, there you go. Yeah, I remember the BBC and ITV or UTV one was the night before. So the RTE one closed down at 10 o'clock in the morning. But the BBC and UTV went off the night before, and they had a big session. Eamon Holmes presented it, and it was really good. There are a lot of heads on it over the years from both the BBC and UTV, talking about stuff and whatever, and engineering and folks and all. It was really well put together. Then RTE do that with fucking O'Callaghan, By the way, more money, bastards. They wonder why we don't like them. Just a shower. Anyway, they made more fuss over turning off the teletext this week, which in reality went in conventional form in 12 than they ever did with AM and longwave, yeah? Arseholes. I made a balls up of that countdown. That sums up RTA. Haven't watched TV since and still get called for the license, yeah? Why couldn't he click and turn her off and disappear? Nasty woman, underscore says, indeed. It's some usurper. Yeah, I don't know. I've never even looked at it. Remember someone a couple of years ago said to me, I should do a video on teletext because apparently it works the way it's supposed to work. In regards that if you have a skybox with an RF out into television, the teletext decoder in the television decodes whatever the fuck it is coming out of the right. I remember someone, and I was going to do it, and then I forgot. And I've no satellite or nothing in here, and I'm not going to get around to put them on up in time. But I don't think it matters anyway. There might be some sort of teletext service, some other outlet still. Anyway, who cares? It's only teletext. It'll never catch on anyway. And they'll get that bailout. Nothing will change. No. Give it 5 years, I'd say Tubbs will be back on the box in some form or other. Keep telling everyone, get yourselves AM transmitters, medium wave transmitters. Go to town. Don't bother with a pantry transmitter. Try and get something with a couple of watts. Bang up as big an area as you can and party on. It was pretty amazing tech for the 70s. The BBC were great at all that kind of thing. Yeah, I actually have a couple of lab gear teletext decoders from the 70s. You know, the big ones. But they're not going to be much use now. I'm not sure if they're much use anyway, because I think the original teletext doesn't. They don't talk the newer teletext. $160 for the golden handshake area, yeah. Pat Rabbit started flirting with her in another sector. Oh, fuck's sake. The French and Germans still use teletext and satellite. Right, well, I might have a go at them then, if I ever get the dish up. I actually did get a lovely dish the other day. Someone gave me. It's new as well, so I might get around to it. I have a bit of work to do outside, putting another pole up and stuff. You can still pull it from good quality VHS. That is actually something I did want to try. I have some pre-recorded VHS tapes from the late 80s, early 90s. We've Murray in here somewhere as well. Good evening. Evening. Sorry I'm a bit late. I have that exact Sony TV. Just repaired it today. Very good. Welcome aboard. I'll have to build a pantry TX if the radio museum ever happens. If you look at, and there's a question for a few people here, 6v6.co.uk, who sell the Spitfire pantry transmitter, also have a 1 watt version called the Hurricane. I wonder, did anyone ever use that? They're not overly expensive either. Around the £100 mark will get you out of jail. Just looking at one earlier on, they look well made. They also have a 10 watt one as well. What it's called, I don't know. Maybe Roundy Mooney will stick a link to their website. I'm working you hard tonight, Roundy. You're earning your blue spanner. Nodge, can you pick up any UK stations on DAB at all? Inquires Rob. I've no DAB capabilities here, so even if I can, I don't know. Yeah, I've no DAB receivers. There's a lad in the US doing Bluetooth enabled valve transmitters. Nice wooden base and everything. Andy Doswell's here. Good evening, sir. Richard says he's got 36 CRT TVs. He needs analog back, indeed. Mike Gardner says he has the Spitfire and Hurricane transmitters. Do tell us more, Mike. I'm sure a few of us here would like to know how you get on with them. Rob's going to have a look at his late grandmother's 2020 VCR. Has a power supply problem. Best of luck with that, sir. Kevy B is in the chat as well. I'm not seeing all these messages and I'm having to go back up. I'm probably skipping by too quick, perhaps. Kev B is currently in Dover training with Megger until Thursday. That sounds interesting. Yeah, let's see what people think of that. I'm going to pin that. Do have a look at that link and tell us what you think. Mike Gardner says the Hurricane is good, but the Bluetooth died in it. Oh dear. Very good. Do you use that as a pantry transmitter, or do you find that the range is much more increased with the 1 watt as compared to the 100 milliwatts? Driver from Shortwave says he might have a bash of making a medium wave transmitter. He just needs the time to do it. Oh yeah, I would encourage anyone to take control of a band that has been abandoned by everyone else. Let's take a leaf. If the Dutch can do it, why can't we? Oh yes, do be sure to select live chat. I have live chat selected, but I still miss some comments. The Dutch have courage, but sure, nothing will happen anyway these days. No one cares. Dab is like you, Les. We're told we want it, even though no one wants it. But yeah, I have seen a lot of videos on YouTube of lads going around on push bikes with battery angle grinders cutting down poles. Oh, great stuff. Fair play to them. Robin Hoods. Chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. And then it says successfully connected. Dear. I wonder what that was all about. Range is good, but not really tested it outside the flat. The Hurricane is better than the Spitfire as it has an LCD display where you can change the channel rather than via dip switches. Yeah, lad, the disclaimers, yeah. Yeah, good alright. I believe he got several cease and desist letters off Ofcom, but they couldn't actually do anything about it. The last transmitter I built was an FM one. Range was good from front of the house to the back garden. Yeah, I can remember making a 1 transistor FM transmitter years ago, and it was actually quite impressive how far it went. Little 18-inch whip. The Mosquito 1 watt transmitter for 90 quid doesn't sound too bad. One watt into a matched long wire with a good ground. Check out All American 5. He has built some good medium wave transmitters. Unless you have a nasty. Well, yeah, there's always that problem, Murray. Are they allowing people? No, not officially here. No, I know you have Part 15 over in the States, which I believe is a fairly popular hobby in its own right. But no, we're not actually allowed legally transmit on medium wave at all here. But people are. So there's actually a very good pirate radio station in Dublin called Energy Power AM, and they're on 1440 kilohertz. And his signal here has been brilliant over the weekend. I was listening in the car driving around earlier on. So I think he must have upped his power again or done something with his ground playing. He's 300 or 400 watts. And he's about 30 miles away from me. Coming out really good. But yeah, people are kind of taking the law into their own hands now because nobody cares. Rob's radio chant's been listened to Radio Caroline last few nights. Yeah, comes in really good here. Actually, the best time of day for me to listen to Radio Caroline is in the morning on the way to work, just before it gets bright, and it comes in excellent, full of the pipe. 44 viewing with 39 thumbs up. Wonderful. And he does us as a Class E. Tell what Class E can be built for not much. Chinese Class D amp for a modulator, good ground, and a fishing rod vertic. Goes for miles. Not that I know, of course not, sir. A BFI 51, yeah. We have a few of them around here still. Kev B likes the Sony on the bench. Thanks, Kev. Thank you. Let's move that out of the way, actually, so you can see it better. Jim Gordon says it's been raining. Let me go. I'm missing stuff. I'm out of sync with the chat here a bit. I'm not keeping up with it tonight. Roundy Mooney says, "Are they on, JJ?" I take it he's talking about the radio, the pirate radio station in Dublin. They were earlier on. Whether they're still on or not, I don't know. Yeah, sorry about the rugby there, Jim. Oh dear. Can a small town decide they want a low power medium wave station and put it up? Probably wouldn't happen these days, Chris. Not here. I don't know what the situation is in the States, but I think most people now for community will be using Facebook or something anyway. No one, general population here, don't use AM radio. It really is kind of a thing just for enthusiastic people like us at this stage. Would you agree with that, Roundy and everyone? Rowley says he's strongly thinking of setting up his own Kiwi SDR in the country somewhere quiet. That sounds like a good idea. Rob's radio channel says, what frequency? 1440 kilohertz. Where's the bleeding thumbs up thing? Ah, now come on, Andy. You know better than that. Come on. Odge, is that a vintage Sony Trinitron on your bench? Oh, yeah, 2 of those. Great, it is indeed, sir. It is indeed. Dennis says, I used a 70s remote control toy single channel, single instruction AM transmitter to transmit audio by wiring a telephone handset carbon mic in series with the power input, and you got 2 to 3 miles out of it. That's incredible. That's very interesting, Dennis. Fair play to you. Dennis says, I did it when I was 7 or 8. I think to work that out then was good. Yeah, fair play to you. 200 kilohertz also, and a carbon microphone. Mark Dunson is here. Good evening, Mark. 48 watching now. Is that the highest ever? Oh, I thought we had north of 50 at one stage. Thought we did. Chipmunk says, we have some community stuff still around, mainly because the large Asian community in one specific area of Southampton, also a very power license, can get them real good coverage. Chris says, a friend of mine would transmit on 1700 kilohertz with a modified Johnson Viking, about 100 watts. But got a letter left on the front door one day, so that stopped. Oh dear. Some rural listeners are better served by medium wave than FM and that, particularly in hilly areas. Ground wave, I suppose. I should imagine so. A spectrum of nothingness is around the corner. Yes. Get building those transmitters for educational purposes only, though. Not that I would. Yes, indeed. Roger, what time does the pirate radio station broadcasting? Very quiet on 1440. Well, he could be finished. He could be finished. What time is it? It's 9:30. He could have knocked off for the weekend. Not the highest. No. I'm sure we had more at one stage. Found the button. Good. Mark Dunson says, nice Sony you have there. Thanks very much, Mark. I'm sure you will hit the 100 some night. Possibly. You never know. It's 49 now. Nothing wrong with zinc carbons. They're just not made for this. But they're all I have a hand. Zinc carbons are only for low power devices. And this microphone is definitely not a low power device. Beep, 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 beep. I love the way people write in capital letters, like gotta say it better. I see I got another subscriber on my channel. That made me last night. On update. Good man, Rob. Battery's gone dead. Yeah, no. Wayne Sharp's in the chat. Good evening, Wayne. Someone please send them some alkalines. You know what? For such a modern piece of kit, I don't know why it isn't rechargeable. You know, you think there'd be some lithium ion pack in there and you just charge it up with a USB-C, wouldn't you? This day and age. Andy Doswell's on 992 subscribers now. Oh, so you're 2,000 behind me. I'll send a few over to you. I'm sure anyone that's here will subscribe to Mr. Doswell anyway, if they haven't already done so. I'm sure they have. Don't use those Kodak batteries. They are shy. The reason why I buy these is because they're handy for testing, handy for using the test radios and that. So I buy those, and I have lots of converters, you know, from AA to D and C, and I've converters here that you can stick 3 AAs into a D cell. So they're handy for that kind of thing, and on a cost basis, they work quite well for that. Yeah. 1320, Michael, indeed. Have you got an on-off switch for the 1320 on-off volume switch? Is that a pint glass of water? It is indeed. Michael just finished having the last barbecue of the year. No, probably not, Roundy. Many of our regular readers will be saddened to learn of the death of Les Larry Johns in late August. Great to have Michael Dranfield here. What is the history behind that Sony TV you have? Not much of a history with me. Bought off a chap who collects TVs, an English chap who lives in Ireland, and it's here about a year now. I did have it in the house for a while, but it has a couple of issues, but I'm not going to get too involved in it. It's working, and after that, I'm not too pushed. When you go inside one of those things, it's not for the faint-hearted. I'm not really faint-hearted. So, it's working, you know, so it'll do. But, yeah, they're a lovely little television. I have a couple more of them knocking around. Mike Price is here. Good evening, sir. I've just bought a Sanyo CTP 510W today. It's not been plugged in since 2001. Worked perfectly. Indeed. It is amazing, isn't it? Is that a vintage torch above your head? It is indeed. It is indeed. Hong Kong's finest. Yeah, they're great when they work. Not so great if they stop working. Never a fan of Sony stuff. Roundy Mooney says he has a late 90s Mitsubishi just hums on brute force powered up. I'll go in and recap what I need to and then offer it to someone. No room for it. Hopefully you can get rid of it, Roundy. Worked well when last year was the yeah, didn't they all? It is pre-GCS. No, that's just a straight conventional power supply. It doesn't have any of that crap in it. The Durabeam, that was a rubber one, wasn't it? A game I might take it. Yeah, they might. I tried getting rid of a few there a while ago. I didn't have any joy. Couldn't even give them away. He knows he's not looking at me. Oh dear. He knows it's not my speed anyway, really. White Savage is hard plastic, break proof, and lives up to the claim. Ah. Yeah. Very little interest in that sort of thing. Well, you see, the retro gamers, you see, have been poisoned into thinking that the only thing that is any use is a Sony, the Sony broadcast monitors. They've gone down that rabbit hole now, so they don't use a normal television. Which is just the way it's gone. 43 watching now with 45 thumbs up, so we're in the right ratio now. Roundy. Wayne Sharp says he's a 420-mile drive to Aberdeen in the morning. Ooh. Does anyone remember White Guinness? They brought out this Guinness years ago called Bro or Brew, and it was white. Didn't last very long. Hello, Libby. The youngest daughter just came in and says, Odge, you're the household name now, Odge. Hello, Libby. Welcome to the madness. Your old man has the blue spanner. He works all the magic in behind the scenes here. He's the only one who not really knows how any of this works. No, Guinness Light was the the light one, the 2% one. But there was a white Guinness, and definitely I remember this. It was called Brew or Bro, BRU Fodder, and it would have come out around the mid 90s, 94, 95. It didn't last long at all. Oh, you can still get the batteries with the springs in them, alright. Yeah, they are still around. The 1289, that was a 4.5 volt. Yeah, that's the one with the two spring contacts on the top, two flat springs. She got a laugh out of that, huh? God love her. Oh, she must think you're cracked. She must think I'm cracked. 40 watching, 47 thumbs up. Interesting times. I think she knows I am. I am at least, yeah. Days of buying batteries for torches should be over, lads. You need to get yourselves one of these out of Nebos or some such rechargeable doofers. Oh, oh. I'd never buy a torch that takes batteries again. I remember those. I had a pocket torch that used those batteries, the old flat ones. Anthony Mulligan is here. Good evening, sir. Oh, the LED lens are. Yeah, well, that's pretty much like that. That's like the when I shine that up a dark road at night. It's like the high beam in a car. It's class. It's amazing how they've come on with the LED technology in the last 10 years, and one wonders where it's going to be in another 10 years. I mean, if they're the kind of flashlights we're getting now, what are they going to be making in another 10 years? And how more efficient are they going to be able to make LEDs? I mean, if they keep going at their current trend, I reckon. I don't think electricity is ever going to be cheap, but I think light is going to get very cheap. Jim Gordon had a Trinitron that lasted 25 years. He only got rid of it because of digital TV. Yeah. Wonderful sets. Some of them are brilliant. White Sapphire says, I have a couple of Wilco Cree rechargeable torches. They are brilliant. I have a Nebo, but it doesn't half get through batteries. Oh, it's not a rechargeable Nebo. Yeah. My scuba torch is frightening. Uses two 26 650s. Daylight at the flick of a switch. I like the sound of that. Bring back the flying bomb battery. Most likely, Ray, indeed. Chipmunk says, in another 20 years, we will have fusion power. I read that in 1984, and it's still true. Yeah, fusion's a long time coming, although I believe the French are making inroads with fusion. More around the I remember the first time used LEDs. They were a step They were for step lighting on a stairs. I don't normally do rewirs. As I do, I bundled all the cabling together. The little buggers were so sensitive. Oh, yes, they lit up even when you switched them off. George Christophe is in the chat. Good evening, sir. I hope you're keeping well. What's that then? The flying bomb battery? Flying bomb battery. What a name for a battery, alright. Flying bomb, China's finest. They lasted about 2 minutes in a torch. I got the Parkside 12-volt torch. Runs 12 hours on a single battery. That's pretty impressive. Didn't make that mistake again, yeah. I'd say that. Yeah, I used to see that with the early LEDs, alright, in houses. And you'd see them on landing lights and that, and they wouldn't go off. They'd be glimmering away there all the time. Glimmering away. They'd be picking it up off the other wire for the two-way switch. Wayne Sharp has a couple of Geiger counters. Hopefully, you won't be needing them. Not bad. Avoiding big bollocks on the TV. A Big Brother, is it? Is that back? What's it on now? Channel 5 or 7 or one of these? Chipmunk is still confused by flying bomb battery. Back on ITV, bought it back off or bought it from Channel 5. So it started on Channel 4, ended up in the doldrums of Channel 5, and now it's on ITV. Dear oh dear. Neon lamps for locating light switches in the dark. Makes LEDs pulse or glow. Oh bloody hell. They've run out of ideas, so they drag up the old shite. Seems to be. I think television is circling the pan. It's circling, and it's going to go down the hole. And it'll be finished soon enough. Rob's radio channel reckons he must be deaf. Oh, there. No sound. No sound at my end, I think, yeah. Modulation light is working here anyway. Hollywood hasn't done anything original for decades. Everything is a remake, yeah. Some great TV on the streaming services, though production values are in some cases cinema quality, indeed. I wonder. Reese Emmons here. Good evening, Reese. Welcome. We have 38 watching, 39 watching, in fact. Yodings is here. The stream is pretty chill. Thank you. The sound here is fine. And if George Christophe says the sound is okay, I take it that the sound is okay. Because George knows what good sound is. Jim Gordon says, I seem to remember the flying bomb batteries. Were they Chinese and had a picture of a bomb with wings on them? That's right. Tommy Hanlon's there. Good man, Tommy. No drama here. No, it's one thing I've commented on before, and I will say again, I've never, well, very rarely had any issue with the live stream. Everyone's very respectful of one another. Everyone takes everything in their stride, and people are able to have debates here with one another in the chat without resorting to any sort of animosity or ill feeling. So yeah, there's room for everyone here. Broadcast TV has had its day, I think. Just this week, I've ditched the TV license and gone to Roku sticks. All YouTube and catch up. Now that's all I need. I got one of those Roku boxes. On the recommendation of Kevy Wevy Woo, a viewer here from time to time, and I found it very good so far. Reese has been looking at a Panasonic 50-inch plasma. Must be a bit old. Plasma. Couldn't figure it out, so I ended up on Google. Turned out to be two tiny surface mount device caps next to two ICs on the primary of the power board. Strange one. Oh dear. Excuse me. I will say I'm glad I don't go near flat televisions anymore. The last flat TV I looked at ended up being a complete disaster. So I sort of vowed never to look at one again. If you find any flying bombs, then Simon Spears wants them for his collection of dead batteries. Oh, of course he does. I have a small collection of ever-ready dead batteries, which live over here, which you are probably all used to seeing by now. Chipmunk says, I don't know, you should see it when you go to the house over there. The Discord is fine, but it's a big, fast-moving channel, and I don't know if there are many odgnogities there. Odgnogites. I like that. Little nodgers. Oh, brilliant. Jeff Big, Discord is something that I don't know. I looked at Discord once now. I got a headache. I remember Voider C cells, blue, white, and yellow. A slight improvement on the flying bomb, but not much. Reese says he tested both caps and had good ESR and capacitance. So he doesn't understand how they fail. Interesting. I just got done modding 3 consoles. My bedroom looked like that an hour ago. I can imagine. Chipmunk says there's in this Discordy thing, there's me, you, Dennis, Kev, and maybe not sure someone else. Okay, good night, Jerry BVR, and we will see you in the next one. Bulge capacitor in a computer monitor. Ah, yeah. We used to do those kind of repairs, but now that it's got into having to lift the screen out and all that kind of crap. Everready batteries used to be blue SB2 and red HP2. Yes. We've got a few different ones. What have I got here? Oh, I've got a cool one here. I've got a. Oh, I'd forgotten I had this as well. I'll show you this. There's your 1289 battery that you were talking about a while ago. That. Then there's an SP2. It's a C cell, we'd call it today. Then I've got a couple of, or a D cell, should I say? A couple of other ones here that I like. HP11 high power, and then I've got this SP11, which is a super battery. And the old battery's a little bit of class to them, all right. So anytime I find a half decent one, I stick it up there. The BLR 121, that's the one for the Evo. Wouldn't use them. Absolute shit. Use 5 3-volt lithium coin cells, and you will never have to touch your zero again. They just stay steady. Oh dear, Dennis, that wouldn't work long. Everready silver sale. I've seen them, all right, but I don't have any of them that have survived. Oh wait, no, I do. I have a silver sale battery here. Yeah. Yes. There we are. And this one is best before 93. There you go. Gold seal or the alkaline. Yes, I've come across those too in old radios. How much charge in that 93 battery? Not much. Not much. None, I should imagine. Sometimes they will give a reading on a digital meter, but as soon as you ask them to do any kind of a load at all, they just go straight to zero. That's the one he took out of the mic earlier. Yeah. Is the industrial Duracell better? He'll stick that in something next week again, unless he bins it. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. Just gotta turn off my mic for a second. I want to listen to something. Hello, I'm back. Sorry about that. GP batteries I have used. Yeah, they're pretty good, are they? Chipmunk says the professional Duracell are very good. Good. 10 lumens per watt. Arc lamp. Yeah, that's the problem with rechargeables, are like they that lower terminal voltage can cause problems. Back. Sorry about that. Nothing leaks like a Duracell. I remember years ago when these were sold, I was the only guaranteed leak-proof cell. How the world has changed, indeed. Dennis found out you could make it make it really loud and drive it hard. Usually did this with 15 volt instead of 9. It did well. One lunch I put the negative on the -8 instead of ground. We evacuated. Bang. Who's the end of that? I fear, said Sony Radio, suffered some mild battery leakage. There is evidence on the PCB, but all cleaned off and no apparent corrosion. I will probably recap it though and apply the fixes. I have been buying a lot of lithium batteries recently. Yeah, it's not as sensitive as it should be. Yeah, it should be pretty good, alright. Halfords these days is a shadow of its former self. I've noticed that. You went to Halfords and a lot of the shelves are empty. It's not good. Not good at all. Oh, Roundy Mooney's getting really involved. He's invested in a hot air station and a digital microscope. Getting into the old surface mount device stuff. Um, they didn't even know what a feeler gauge was. Yeah, I've had that issue there recently with someone too. I went into a higher place and I asked them did they have a feeler gauge and they said they didn't know what it was, which wasn't good. Halfords is very expensive. The only thing I will say is they can be good for tools at times. I remember Maplin selling a wire strippers for 22, the same one in Halfords for 4. Yeah, that'd be about right. Remember them at that kind of shit, yeah. We have an old RS heat gun and a pair of Tesco magnifying glasses for SMD work. Yeah, I think Argos might end up pulling out. Wouldn't be good. Maplin were great till they went all commercial and crap. They sold two-way tag strips for 2p in about 84. They probably thought you were propositioning them for a feeder gauge, yeah. They might have done. Got an ever ready SB11 battery with the price sticker of 5.5p. Blow lamp and a 6-inch nail is all you need for the SMD work. Yeah, probably right. Dennis says Halfords used to be good. When Boots owned them, the staff were looked after. They employed specialist staff and more money than managers, and they had staff on the other end of the phone if we needed. Yeah. There you go. Maplin's got overpriced. Yeah, they went nuts. They asked if I wanted a warranty on a pack of fuses. Oh, sweet Jesus. That says it all, Arlie. Unbelievable. Yes, my fuses have failed. I require more fuses. Oh dear. I'm gonna pin that one now, Roundy. I'm sure he's got the first one. Bing. Can anyone remember the Tandy Battery Club? Oh. Maplins went into gadgets because nobody was buying enough electronic components. Mind you, they had to be desperate at Maplins prices. Yes. A free battery every month. That sounds good, alright. Yeah, that was the thing, alright. If you really, really needed it, you'd go to Maplins. If you could wait, you'd certainly go the internet way. Dunberg. Yes, Pete's went the DID and Power City route, but they couldn't do it. It was a mistake. Well, they probably wouldn't have been able to keep going either way. Internet also killing the radio shops. Yep. Yeah, if you can go to a counter, it's good, but there ain't too many counters left to be going to these days. Right, boys and girls, I have an early start in the morning, which you probably guessed. Um, so I'm going to pull the plug. Unfortunately. Do we have anyone here from Manchester way that might remember New Cross Radio? It was in Manchester. I was in Manchester the day Woolworths caught fire. Right, lads. It looks like there's a lot of people are up early in the morning, so we will say good night. Thanks for tuning in as always. And hopefully next Sunday we'll bring another live stream and we'll see where we go from there. Thank you all for tuning in. Very good of you as always. And I will say good night to Audio Al, Dennis, Driver Shortwave Film, George Christophe, Ian Deacon, Jennifer Moynihan, Jim Simpson, Kev B, Murray Hailstone, Michael Dranfield, Michael White, Mike Gardner, Norma Donnelly, Ray Bourne, Rob's Radio Channel, The Chipmunk, Tommy Hannon, Wayne Sharp, White Sapphire, and a special thank you to Roundy Mooney for working the big blue spanner and getting all those links and things up. We've also Dennis there, Kev Bay. I think I got everyone. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Irvine70 is there as well. Good night to you all. Thank you for tuning in. No YouTube channel without you watching. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Wherever that will be. My price is there as well. Alright, good night everyone. Thanks for tuning in, right? Get on. Good luck.